You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Fat Jack's Comicrypt. Does it look all right? Yeah, it looks fine. We're here to sell some comics. That's about it. So tonight, let's see, we have a few books that are up here. We got a couple big keys that made it from the local show onto The Experience here. We got a few other books. Hopefully we'll get to. We got a bunch of early spawns for anyone who's in a 90s mood.
Yeah, 90s.
Yeah, go 90s. So pretty much as I would love to do a song and dance and get everyone hyped and excited, I literally have no idea what I'm going to do from 1 minute to the next. So why don't you just join into the party and we'll make it up as we go along. See you in a minute. Welcome back, everybody. So we're here to
sell books.
Yeah, I've decided the Fat Jack's Comicrypt mission statement is just going to be, we sell comics. I'm pretty sure that just sums it up. If anything,
come for demonetization, stay for the books.
Hey, let's just say this. For anyone who didn't see the local show, maybe I got it all out of my system. Maybe. So I think this is going to be a family-friendly, we only sell comics kind of show. I'm pretty sure.
We sell comics, trademark.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. That is. You got to just start saying it.
Zayn in the chat.
Zayn.
Whoa, somebody claimed 306.
What is that? Oh, wow. Well, okay, real quick. Okay. Thank you to whoever just claimed them, but let us do a little bit of business real fast. Okay. So, claim sales show. Any book that you're interested in, claim it in the chat. Be as specific as possible. If you think you might want to claim it, but you're not sure of the condition or price, just claim it. Then we'll talk about the condition and price. And if you change your mind, then you can unclaim it. No harm. All right? We're live. This is how it works. We can kind of a little symbiotic relationship between us. So I just don't want anybody to miss out or get hawked. You know, somebody sneaks in at the last second. We don't want to do any of that. All right.
No dukes.
No dukes. Yeah.
Dukes fight.
We're here in Philadelphia. Beautiful, hot, smelly Philly.
Yesterday was so nice though, wasn't that hot?
I know. It's not
anything north of 70 too much.
I was gonna say it's not comfortable for me yet.
No,
until it's 63.
But yesterday was so nice. Like it was 80, 80 something.
And all right.
Anyway,
thank you, Mr. Italy. I'm Mr. Ireland. Okay, I want it to be a lot colder. Okay.
No spicy food for you. I got you.
Yeah. I don't want
to hear this. Wait,
I don't want to hear Mediterranean, close to the equator baloney. All right.
The sun has to reflect off me. Oh
yeah. I don't tan. I only burn. And I love it. Whenever I go on lake adventures with my Middle Eastern friend who's all Jordanian, and he's sitting there browning without any sunblock, and I'm sitting there applying more sunblock or putting on a t-shirt, and he mocks me and makes fun of me.
So growing up, my grandma used to put olive oil on her skin.
Oh, yeah, I knew people like that.
Today, well, she ended up with cancer, but that was...
It was a different kind of cancer?
It was internal lung cancer. She was 86 when she got cancer.
Wow.
Olive oil on your skin in the sunny day? Granted, you're Italian, but my God, what are you thinking? You got your mind?
Well, she was an older woman of a different generation, so maybe... I knew a dude who was 8 years younger than me when I was 21. So he was a little teenager who would put coconut oil on his skin and then go sit out in the sun for hours on end.
Cooking yourself. Come on, dude, you can't bake without some butter. That's not healthy. You're not supposed to be eating.
Okay. So, claim sales.
Save your damn books.
Yeah. If you're in the Philadelphia area, anything you claim tonight will be behind the register under your name. Just let them know you claim some books from the live show. If you're a subscriber, this doesn't apply to you. But everything will be behind here on hold as from the live show.
I have this dumb question. How do you become a subscriber?
Just subscribe. Just put your name
Fill
in.
out paper.
Just fill out a piece of paper.
Like I've never.
Just fill it in. It's really just for just to guarantee that you get certain books. That's really all it is. You know, some people are like, "Well, you're gonna give me a discount." I go, "Why?"
See, like,
We don't make anything off of the subscriptions. It's just, if anything, the subscriptions help us gauge
what you want.
customer interest in certain titles. So sometimes we might up our orders or lower orders depending on subscriber interest, and also if enough subscribers subscribe to a book that isn't really on our radar, it might then become a book that we might order more copies of. So
I
that's
just thought it was like VJs or something.
yeah. So if
I'll
you're
explain it all for you.
yeah. So if you're over in Jersey, don't worry. We will send the books over there for you to pick up. And if you are outside of the area and you need us to ship you books, if you shop with us before, we probably already have your contact and shipping information. But just in case we do not, we're going to need you to email us at fjccshow@gmail.com. Al will be there. He'll pick up your contact information. He'll get your shipping information. He'll send out the invoices, all that kind of stuff. It still seems like for the first item, shipping starts at $9. But every item after that, obviously Al and Mike do a wonderful job trying to, keep everything shipping costs as low as possible. No one's here to gouge you. We're not here to make money off shipping. That's for sure. So what else? If you want to follow us on social media, the most active is probably our Instagram page. That is at the FJC Paradox. Come, join, have fun, make fun of me. Everybody else does.
See dog pictures.
Every now and again, we get a cute little dog picture.
Little? That's not a little dog.
That's my baby.
She's a puppy. Why, she ain't little.
She ain't little.
Hardly even jumpy.
She's a 65-pound little beast. Man, there's a new dog on our block. She's not happy.
Not afraid.
She is not happy, that's for sure. Okay, so I think that's all the business. Yes. We're continuing with our Latchkey Manifesto mixtape. So today we are working on Volume 7. I don't know how to get the link for Volume 6.
Yeah, the phone's been claimed.
Oh, the phone's been claimed. Sorry.
Ancient black business phone.
No. Sell, buy. So, but if you haven't given us a song suggestion yet from on the local show or what have you, please give us a song suggestion today. Again, no theme. If you are very confused by what I'm talking about, we're doing a mixtape experiment where everybody watching gets to suggest one song, and then we compile all the songs at the end of the night, and I hand them all to my buddy Roland Bale, who lives in my basement, and he spends way too much time damaging his mind, body, and soul, putting together a bunch of songs that don't look or shouldn't fit together, and he turns it into a magical spell of the power of story, emotion, and spirit.
What did you think of the song that wasn't in English?
Oh, it was excellent.
You really liked it?
Dude, I like them all. Dude.
It's called Unravel.
Yeah, no. Again, they work. My buddy is a genius at knowing how to juxtapose the music together to create. Because sometimes I have one person bring this up and we're like, there was this song that I was really digging. And then right after it was over, this next song came on, and it really made me feel uncomfortable, and it really took me out of this really nice vibe I was feeling. And I went, "That's purposeful." Thank you. That was a great compliment. I'll let my buddy know, because you better believe he intended that. So with that said, please suggest any songs, what have you. We really appreciate it. Do you watch the private chat too?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the one thing is like,
it always gives a notification.
all right, so let me know. Yeah, so let me know when we're coming up to a break, because I out of respect to the experience.
Yeah, it usually pings me.
All right, cool. I want to respect their break schedule. You know, they benefit from it, so we might as well. You know, we have a platform here. We might as well help each other out as best as possible. All right, so there's been a lot of babbling, and we haven't actually gotten to our mission statement, which is we sell comics. Woo! So tonight we are going to start out with Todd McFarlane's Amazing Spider-Man run, almost all of it. And we also have a few Spider-Man #1s signed by Mr. Todd McFarlane. Don't worry, we also have certificate of authenticity from a company known as the Spider's Web.
Is that the spider icon?
Yeah, it's like a stamp they put on the back of the cover.
They must have had a big...
It was a huge, it must have been. It happened on June 18th of 1990.
It had been like the Northeast, because I only see them here.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that.
Well, that's funny you say that, because the Spider's Web is actually from Puyallup, Washington.
Really?
Yeah, they're from the Northwest.
Somebody must have had a store and came to the Northeast.
Maybe Todd McFarlane bought all of Mark McGuire's balls with signed copies of Spider-Man #1, and they all just ended up, they just stayed in the Northeast.
You know what? I'm buying these baseballs, man. You must have had a ball.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, God, stop it.
All right. Okay, so we got the Amazing Spider-Mans we're going to talk about. We got a couple, fun little random stuff up here. But we also have a couple keys that hung over from the local. So let me quickly point out what they are, and then we'll move on to the Todd McFarlane Spider-Mans. First up, we have Sandman #5, Sandman #7, #9, and #2. We also have the second print of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #3. We also have Toxic Avenger #1, first appearance of Toxie. We got Mark Spector Moon Knight #55, the very first Stephen Platt Moon Knight issue. We have Amazing Spider-Man 162, first appearance of Carnage. Amazing Spider-Man 361, Amazing Spider-Man 361, first appearance of Carnage. Amazing Spider-Man 162, first appearance of Jigsaw. New Teen Titans #2, first appearance of Deathstroke, and Batman Vengeance of Bane #1, first appearance of Bane. If anyone has any questions about condition and price, let Aaron know in the chat, and we will get to that. Until then, and obviously, no matter what we're talking about, we will always prioritize the chat. So there's something up here that you're interested in, and I'm not talking about it, let Aaron know, and we will get to it. I understand everyone's time is very valuable. You might only have 5 minutes to check in, and I do not want to waste your time. I waste enough of my own, and everybody else who's involved in this. I'm not going to waste yours.
Gary likes your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Love this shirt. Woman made it for me especially. Thank you. Okay, so with that said, the first priority, because a couple of them have already been claimed, but bear with me as I get to them. Let us start with, before we do the Todd McFarlane's, real quick, we have Amazing Spider-Man 245. Does anyone recognize that? This is a VF at $18. Also, the first appearance and death of the fourth Hobgoblin. I know that's really moving the meter. And then we have Amazing Spider-Man 249. That is a VF at $10. Still part of the big old Hobgoblin story. And then we get, with a beautiful John Romita Jr. cover, Amazing Spider-Man 250. This is a VF Plus at $16. And now we get into the Todd McFarlane Spider-Mans. Now, most of these, please, everyone, don't rag on them. Most of these are newsstands, which in 1989 was a big deal. In 1976, not as much of a big deal. But 1989, big deal. So with that said, we start out with...
Thanks for that caveat.
Amazing Spider-Man 302. Fine Plus $10.
It's a jerk.
Amazing Spider-Man 303, Silver Sable and Sandman popping up to do some stuff. That is a fine plus at $10. Then we get to issue 304 with the Great Burglar, the Fox, one of the dumbest Spider-Man villains of all time. That is a fine plus at $10. Aaron, what were the issues that were actually claimed already?
Okay, well, we just got another 3 that was claimed as well.
All right, but let's go back to the first.
306, 307, 308.
Okay, so I haven't gotten those yet.
And then 245, 249, 250.
Oh, excellent. All right. So let's take them. Let's take them off the board. All right, there we go. All right, we haven't gotten 306 yet, so next up is 305. That is the Prowler shows up, and Spider-Man goes to California. This is a fine plus copy at $10.
And Spider-Man goes to California, and
It is.
Not a lot of tall buildings there, so he's just like roaming around, just kind of walking.
It's the Tom McFarland era where he shoots a line into space and somehow just swings around.
And it is a special space station.
I'm pretty sure he's hitting like birds or something. And
Some poor hawks. Like, what the hell's going on?
Next up, a little homage to one of the most famous comic book covers of all. And if you need me to tell you what it is, I don't know why you're watching us. Amazing Spider-Man 306, fine plus $10. Issue 307, the new origin of the Chameleon. This is a fine at $10. And issue 308, that is a fine at $8 as Spider-Man is very worried about who kidnapped Mary Jane. And if you didn't know that that's what it was about, don't worry. The cover tells you. So that is... All right. Next up, we have issue 309 with the first appearance of Sticks and Stones. This is a mid-grade copy at $8. And now we get to issue 310 with the Deadly Shrike showing up. Also, Peter goes back to college. At last. Mid-grade copy, $8.
Well, today's the 60th anniversary of Spider-Man debut.
Correct. Amazing Fantasy number 15. You got it. Amazing Spider-Man number 311. Makes you wonder why I'm doing all these Spider-Man books.
Yeah, I was wondering, but thanks for telling me. 309 is cool.
309? Okay. All right, issue 311, Mysterio. This is also the part of the Inferno kind of tie-in. This is a fine plus at $10.
So about that too.
Yes.
If you the other Spider-Man ones where he writes the number next to his name.
That's how many spiders are on the cover.
And I think that's the first one he did that to.
Okay.
Or that's one he does it.
Oh yeah, because just in case anyone doesn't understand. So whenever Tom McFarland on these Spider-Man issues would write his name, he would put a number next to his name. And that was to indicate how many spiders are on the cover.
And puts a question mark for...
You got to break it. Oh, breaks right now? Okay, so we're going to take a break. And when we get back, we're going to get right back into these Tom McFarland Amazing Spider-Man. See you in a minute.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at the Experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Are you a comic creator? Are you a publisher? Do you make a comic book product? Do you own a retail store? Do you do something I haven't thought of? Who are you and what do you do? Let us know by advertising on the experience and invite our viewers to patronize your product. Message the EXP on social media or email us _EXP@yahoo.com for more details.
Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. The audio is not working for Brendon. His microphone's off.
Welcome back. Christmas isn't far away. Yeah, it is. Amazing Spider-Man 314. Peter and MJ get evicted on Christmas.
Well, that's back from New York for you.
By the way, Todd McFarlane loves drawing fat, ugly, homeless Santa.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He does it all the time. I don't know. He's got these weird peccadillos.
Yeah.
The one peccadillo that I never fully understood, but I recently learned about and actually is really sweet. So did you ever notice, it starts about halfway through his Amazing Spider-Man run, and he continues it into Spawn for a long time. You ever notice how Felix the Cat, usually a stuffed Felix the Cat doll, will just pop up randomly in different Todd McFarlane drawn issues? Well, whether you're aware of it or not, I imagine most people who are familiar, especially with McFarlane's Spider-Man stuff, and a little bit in it definitely starts in the Amazing run. It definitely continues in his Adjectiveless Spider-Man run, and it definitely pops up a couple times, I think, in the Spawn run.
Yeah.
So the story is, and this is actually really, it's kind of sweet. So an older gentleman with autism comes to a comic convention that Todd McFarlane is there. And the guy carries around a Felix the Cat doll with him everywhere. It's his emotional support animal, whatever you want to call it. And McFarlane, during the signing, he gets talking to this guy, and he's just really moved by him. And the guy keeps talking about how Felix the Cat and Spider-Man are like the most important thing. Like they give him purpose in life, and they allow him to get out, because he's had a very rough life. Because this is a guy who got diagnosed with autism in his 30s or 40s. So I can only imagine the hell that his childhood was with undiagnosed, pretty extreme autism. So this guy,
early 90s and stuff like that.
Yeah. So we're talking this guy. By the time he met Todd McFarlane in the late 80s, so we're talking he grew up in the 60s and 70s, and that. Yeah. I can only imagine the cruelty that this man experienced. So again, Todd McFarlane was just so moved by this that knowing that this guy read his Spider-Man comics, just as a nod to him and to also let him know that there are people out there thinking of you and you are loved and you are cared for. And the one thing that almost everybody in this world needs to know, you're not alone, okay? No matter what terrible thing is happening to you, no matter what awful, shuffle the cards or whatever life has dealt you, you're not alone, all right? And there are people out there who empathize with you, who have compassion for you, who most likely love you. And and so again, there are times I'll take some shots at Todd McFarlane, the businessman, this and that and what have you. But that was when I fully understood why he did that. I found that to be a very beautiful anecdote and one that I just wanted to point out. So from this point forward, if you weren't aware, if you ever see a Todd McFarlane drawing, especially back in the late 80s and early mid 90s, and Felix the Cat shows up, you'll know that was Todd McFarlane, kind of a little head nod, a little wink to a particular fan that really moved McFarlane emotionally. Made him not a cold jackass. So with that said, let's continue to try to sell some Mcfarland comics. So yeah, there we go. The Amazing Spider-Man mid-grade, $8, issue 314. Now, issue 315 has a little bit more value than some of the others because this is the second appearance of Venom. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 315. He fights Hydro Man. Venom appears, and it's a fine plus at $20.
Wait, who was that other hero last week that was fighting water?
Me. It was 8-year-old me. Yeah,
No.
the Jersey Shore.
You kept making a joke about how he kept fighting water. What was that? Oh my gosh.
I literally forget everything the moment I walk out the door.
I also forgot too, so I guess that's why I keep remembering. I'm not good at small talk. Jesus. I wish I had. 314 is claimed by them.
Okay, 314.
Also, there's a heated debate going on right now in the chat about which month the first.
Listen, when I get home, I check what the Invictus says.
They're arguing between June and August.
Right? Hey! If anything else, I miss out on these arguments by standing up here and talking like a lunatic. But I appreciate everyone arguing in the chat. I love when the chat's active, even when I can't interact with it. Issue 318, Scorpion gets an upgrade. This is a fine plus copy at $10. Issue 319, Rhino, Scorpion, Whiplash, or Backlash, that's his name. Backlash, who looks like he should go hang out at the Cirque du Soleil. Yeah.
Oh, Gary picked this one up because it's another addition to the Christmas.
The Christmas one. Oh, good.
That's
Good,
what I was going to say.
good job, Gary. Yeah. And that's a full on. That's a full on Christmas. Yeah.
And it's newsstand.
And it's newsstand.
SMG last week. I remember that.
Yep. So issue 319, fine plus, $10. Issue 321, the beginning of the Assassination Nation plan. 321, you get Silver Sable and one of the goofiest little mercenaries to ever be in Marvel Comics, Paladin, who is purple. Why is he purple?
Because colors pop, I guess.
318 to 319.
Every now and again, I gotta remember comics.
Comics.
Whenever you ask a question, the immediate answer is comics. I'm sorry, yes.
318 to 319.
318, 319, yes. All right. Cool. So this issue 321 with Paladin and Silver Sable, mid-grade, $8.
Yes, he goes and travels.
Oh, and then we find out who the main villain is in the Assassination Nation plot. Yeah, guess what? It's Marvel's greatest Nazi, Red Skull. I didn't say it. Yo, they can't be.
What is going on here?
No one can get mad at me, man. I'm not the one who said it. All right. I implied things earlier, but I didn't actually say it. All right. So the experience can't be mad at me now. Fine plus, $8. And a famous cover. Cosmic Spider-Man during the Acts of Vengeance storyline fights the Grey Hulk. And guess what? He does not like getting punched in the balls, that's for sure.
Well, we can say it. We just can't type it in chat.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because it won't pick up.
Oh,
That's so much.
Oh, the algorithm. Yeah. And again, I've always said it. Don't put it in writing. Unless you're being recorded, which we are. But just don't put it in writing. I can't tell you the amount of emails or texts I've sat there and went, I gotta re-edit this.
Don't say that. Don't do that.
Like, hey man, I'm the guy who walks around and goes, we're always being recorded. You are being surveyed and watched. So that's why I say, have no shame in your life. And when I say no shame, I'm not talking about the shame of hurting somebody or something. I mean, if you masturbate to some weird porn on the internet, it's all good. Trust me, many people are aware of what you masturbate to. All right?
Yes.
So just don't feel shamed. If someone were to be like, I got a video of you, be like, all right, man, I hope you enjoyed it.
Do you remember when that came out? So I don't know if you guys got that, but when COVID hit, everyone was doing Zoom. And a big scam was saying, hey, I have a video of you on the Zoom chat. Yeah. And we were going to send this to people if you don't send me Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. And that's a big thing where...
That was a big scam.
That is a big scam.
I mean, it's happened to many, and again, never seems to happen to... Well, no, I was going to say, why do why don't hackers hack into more, I don't know, male celebrities and their sex tapes and stuff? It always seems to be women.
There's no money in it.
Because there's no money in
No
it.
money in it.
Like that wrestler, Paige, who like,
No money in it.
I couldn't believe when they like, and again,
Unless you're a politician setting face inappropriately, there's no money in it. So why?
Listen, I'm a man of culture.
real quick, fine plus $12. $12. Yeah, say it again now.
I'm a man of culture, and if the FBI wants to know what I'm looking up, fair enough.
Hey man, there are times I just talk to them.
I get my.
I'm like, I hope you're watching. I look them right in the eye.
Every 5 years, I get my background check. Every 5 years.
Do you like what you see?
That's one of the questions they ask you. They say, is there anything that you do or say that would be questionable? And I say, no, I'm very open book. Don't care.
All right. Last Spider-Man book. Because we're a show of family values. So here you go. Peter and Mary Jane get married. The famous Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 12, the special wedding issue. Very fine. $23. No, he likes redheads.
Yeah, see, the problem is, and I know this now because I hear Brendon talk about all this cool history stuff. They never stick with marriages because that drives sales down because no one's interested in it. Right, Brendon?
Because it takes the
What was
drama out.
The Batman one.
The Batman and Catwoman one?
Yeah, he's gonna get married. He's gonna get married. Oh no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They realize they make more money.
Nope.
It's never gonna work. It's the same way they don't stay dead or anything like that. It just doesn't. You need these characters to exist, and you need them to. Yes, you want levels of growth.
They can't grow up,
but they can't fully grow up. That's just not how it works. Which is why I've always argued that when it comes to the major franchises, the Marvel, DC, mainstream superheroes that have been around for 50, 60, almost a century. Think of them more like anthologies. A new creative team comes on, they leave in certain details, and they ignore other details.
So, Kyle, you're wrong. They didn't cancel The Office because Pam and Jim got married. It sucked because they got married. There's a difference.
Yeah, there was no more.
2 or 3 more
All right,
seasons.
real quick. This is a generational thing, but let me just say it. The greatest example of you don't kill the sexual tension because it'll ruin the show, moonlighting. You goddamn it! I thought you at least would know. I mean, I understand that he doesn't know what moonlighting is.
I know.
Can I pretend to know what I mean?
Sure, just pretend.
I 100% agree.
Yeah. Look at Jason and be like, doesn't know what moonlighting is. Have you ever heard of Bruce Willis?
Yeah, he's that old guy.
Yeah, moonlighting is what made his career. Okay? Just so we're...
You know what? I've never seen him outside of movies.
Right.
I've never seen him outside of an action.
And it's also why Mulder and Scully never got together until the show was terrible.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then, just to really make it even more terrible, they had a kid.
Oh.
So...
Just to add that
But
little
that's the thing.
twist.
You can have a kid with someone and not like be together. That's interesting.
I mean, that's still drama. But I'm just saying,
Like, look at David.
people who are sitting at home watching an American sitcom or a dramedy, and they're looking at their significant other, regretting their life choices. They're looking at their children who they, I think, have disdain for, and they think to themselves, if those characters get married and have kids, then why am I watching this? It's not escapism.
Here's another show. I detest this show to a degree.
Uh-huh.
Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
When they start getting together, it was worse than what it was when I started watching.
Which is you admitting that you love the show.
I hate that show.
Because you knew that they all got married.
No, I hate that show.
Can I have my?
He admitted it.
My.
You watched Big Bang Theory.
Can I have my young guy take about
Sure,
the Big Bang Theory?
sure.
The Big Bang Theory is what like executives think nerds are like.
Yes. It's
and it's 100% not accurate.
If it means anything, in my adult life, and I've made a lot of poor choices in my life, but nothing's better than when a bunch of people I don't know who see me working in a comic book store go, "Oh, are you like Stewart?"
Oh, I hate. Oh, no.
And I'm like, "Yes, I eat cat food out of a can. I live in somebody's basement. My hair and my fingernails are falling out because I'm so malnourished, and I'm a complete loser."
That shows. I detest that show.
I mean, look at Jason.
All right, real quick. I'm not going to bore everyone right now, but I'm going to throw it out here. I have a metaphysical, psychological take on 2.5 Men that will blow people's mind.
I really like that show.
I'm going to be honest. Chuck Lorre used that show to work through all of his mommy issues.
Oh, yeah.
All of his issues with women.
Oh.
And I got to tell you, he doesn't come out on the other side healed.
No.
Let's just throw it out there. Well, with that said, Azrael's back in the news. He's got a new comic book, and if you're looking for his first appearance, we got it. Batman, Sword of Azrael, #1, first appearance of Azrael, and the prelude to the beginning of the Nightfall storyline where Bane broke Azrael's back. High grade, $18.
Azrael's back.
Yep.
Oh, it's Batman.
Daredevil 257. Daredevil fights Punisher. And it continues into Punisher's book. And that is this issue. Punisher #10, illustrated by Wilsh Portacio. Pretty fun. This is Punisher versus Daredevil, continuing from Daredevil 257. Very fine. $15.
Whoa, Zane came in with the full suite there.
Ooh, what is Zane again?
He said
What is he saying?
he's saying the reason why there was a month difference between the two for the Amazing Fantasy is they would normally change the date by 3 months to have it be on the newsstands for longer.
Okay.
So theoretically, there's a version out there that has that.
Well, okay. For anyone who's not aware of this, believe Zanin, because if many people could have gotten their way, Zanin would be here right now, and I would not. Let me just, all joking aside, he deserves it more than me. But Zanin has a real life, and I.
When's he coming out of the chat, showing up again?
The next time he has off on a Monday. Trust me. Whenever Zane's like, I'm thinking of coming by, I'm like, oh my god, thank God. Oh my god.
What Jason again?
Oh my god, it makes my job so much easier. I just ask Zane questions and let him talk while I stay in here doing this.
I mean, I won't talk about relevant things, but I can talk.
No, it's I can talk too about almost anything.
Zane's on the
Yeah, but when it comes to comic books, Zane's the man. Again, I might be bad at small talk. Zane's great at comic talk. All right? Because trust me, I can keep talking. I mean, you don't want to hear me talk. Because literally, we're talking about 2 hours about gender politics and how it's born in American sitcoms. Yeah, sure.
Zane said he can come in on September 4th.
All right, see, that's what I'm talking about. We're already making plans. All right. All right, so put it in your calendars, people.
Actually, that's what we'll do right now.
We have a possible tentative Zanin appearance, maybe September 4th. So
may not be in the chat September 4th.
All right, so everybody peer pressure Zanin to make sure that he does show up.
Also, Grenade Weekend, that's why.
Yeah, of course. That's what I figured. All right, real quick. This is the two-parter. Oh my God, one of these is a newsstand.
Ooh, sure.
But again, it's 1988, so it's 89.
It's in that period of.
This was the period where Jim Lee, before he was drawing X-Men, he was drawing the Punisher.
Wow, what a jump.
Yeah. So technically, this is like one of the first times Jim Lee ever drew Wolverine. Because this is the 2 issues where Wolverine and the Punisher, you guessed it, fight. It's Marvel in the 80s.
Ghost Rider.
What? I feel like those
Don't worry. Ghost Rider will show up at some point.
Hold on. I feel like those 2 would be the least likely to fight.
Are you kidding me? All they do is
could
fight.
Find some common ground.
No, they hate. Well, because each one thinks they're the best of what they do, which is murder innocent people. And they're the epitome of kill everybody and let God sort them out. Okay, Punisher War Journal #6, part 1 of the 2-part Wolverine crossover. When I say crossover, I just mean Wolverine shows up in 2 issues of Punisher War Journal. He does not show up in Punisher does not show up in a Wolverine book. Anyway, this is a very fine copy at $15. And then we have part 2, Survival of the Fittest. Very fine, $5. And just for the sake of it's fun and cool looking, G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero from the original Marvel run, issue 100. And if you have to tell me, if I have to tell you what happens in this issue, you're not looking at the cover.
It's a great cover.
Because I'm pretty sure somebody whose name I just can't put my finger on is back. So, maybe it's Zanin. Maybe this is like a comic from the future. And this is the issue from September 4th, where Zanin's like, I'm back! And he takes off his mask, and we're all like, it's Zanin! But we all knew that already. Why do you wear a mask? So, there you go. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. Giant size, 100th issue. Very fine plus. $12. All right.
Is his name Cobra Commander?
His name is Cobra Commander. Yes.
That's his name.
Did you not know that?
That should be a title.
Wait, what's his real name? I can't remember.
I don't know, but I know his. I know.
I know what he did.
I know what his job. Wait, here, let's play a game. Aaron.
Yes.
All right.
Wait,
Also,
wait,
while
just
talking to
G.I.
you,
Joe
glance
is.
at the chat. Just make sure.
Does he know what G.I. Joe is?
Aaron, have you ever heard of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero? First answer.
An episode of Community.
Oh, okay. No. G.I. Jeff, that's a great episode. Like a great. Nothing's better than when Cobra Commander has been taken to. He's like, I've never felt more alive. Wait a minute. What's this ache in my back? Wait, what are all of these pains I've never felt before? Oh my God, I don't understand new music.
The funniest part is when like G.I. Joe and Cobra Commander are like, can we see movies? We've never seen them before.
It's great. All right, Aaron, if you were to make a guess, before he became Cobra Commander, what was Cobra Commander's original job?
Terrorist organization leader. What did he do before he ran a terrorist organization?
I'm gonna go with hot dog stand.
All right. He was a used car salesman. Boom!
He's actually.
Is that like real?
Yeah, no, it's real. I've literally sold 2 or 3 copies of the issue where you find out he was a used car salesman.
It's phenomenal.
All right, speaking of Tom McFarlane. All right, so here we go. This is the original Spider-Man #1. You can always tell because there isn't platinum, silver ink. It isn't gold. It's just a normal cover with some green and yellow in the background. This is a high-grade copy at $20, but more importantly, it is signed by Todd McFarlane. And we have a certificate of authenticity from June 18th, 1990. Letter of authenticity from the Spider's Web from 729 River Road, Puyallup, Washington. This letter is provided in order to validate your acquisition of Spider-Man #1 signed by artist-writer Todd McFarlane. All copies have been signed on the comic cover and has been stamped on the back cover with the following red stamp, which is like sort of like a spider web. Neither the Spider's Web cards and comics nor Todd McFarlane can be held responsible for attempted forgery. We thank you for your patronage and look forward to doing business with you again in the future. It's funny that you say that because stamped on page 1, they crossed that out and wrote back cover and then initialed it by a guy who might not even be alive to this day.
Like, some of them didn't even bother opening. They're just like, get it on.
Apparently, Cobra Commander was on Transformers.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Hasbro owns them, so they all cross over. Yeah. And then we have the silver / platinum edition copy of Spider-Man #1, high grade, $25, also signed by Mr. Todd McFarlane with a letter of authenticity. And we have one more copy of a book we had on the earlier show, the second print, which for whatever reason is more valuable than the other two. This is the gold ink cover. This is a high-grade copy at $30, and it is not signed, so it does not come with a certificate of authenticity.
I mean, you printed 1 million copies. I have only printed a second one, and you're like, just trash them. We already printed 2 million. Get rid of all these.
I have a question.
Yes, what is your question?
What artist would you say popularized the giant Spider-Man eyes?
Todd McFarlane.
You think so?
Yeah.
No.
Well, he also did
that
Venom look that I really
No, that's
liked.
absolutely. Spider-Man did not have my eyes take up pretty much 7/8 of my face. And Spider-Man, you ever notice Spider-Man doesn't have a nose when Todd McFarlane draws him?
Yeah. Because his eyes are covered.
Yeah. So those are our Spider-Man.
And the eyes are very, like,
They're just like they're
also very
Aaron, do we have an idea of when our next break is?
Yeah, I just got a ping. Literally, I just said it.
So
Right now.
Oh, right now? All right, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to get back. We're going to run through what I have in my hand, and then maybe we'll get to some spawns.
Spawn!
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.
Comic Collectibles is a pretty straightforward show. You got Rex here, he sells the comics, and you got Rockin' Robbie, he knows about the comics. And finally, John, well, no one really knows what John does. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great guy, but he just keeps showing up. Come to think of it, I don't even really know how he gets in here. Anyway, awesome comics, rare books, rarer signatures, slabbed books, and amazing cover sketches by Ken Hazer and others. Simple formula, you want the comics, you buy the comics. To sum up, Rex sells the comics, Robbie knows the comics, and John, who might possibly be a ghost. I mean, seriously, has anyone ever seen him show up or leave? Comic Collectibles with Rex and John, Mondays from 6 to 8 Eastern on The Experience. Comic Culture and Sales.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Welcome
Hi.
back. We're here.
Hi.
All right, good stuff. All right, real quick, let me check in with Aaron real fast. Anything in the chat? Any priorities, anything like that? All right, good.
No, we're good to go.
Let us continue. All right, so next up, we still have Teenage Ninja Turtles #3, second print, VF Plus at $60. But we also have one of my favorite single issues of Teenage Ninja Turtles from when I was a kid, issue number 17. This is the issue where pretty much Easton and Laird funnel their love of Frank Miller's Ronin, the one of the greatest mangas of all time, Lone Wolf of Cub, and their buddy Stan Sakai's Usagi Yojimbo. So this issue is pretty much, well, spoiler, you find out at the very end, Michelangelo is drawing a comic book where he's an awesome samurai Ronin, kicking butt in Edo, Japan, and just being all around badass. So that's what this issue is. I loved it as a kid. I got it at Fat Jack's in Oakland back in 1988 when I was like 9 or 10. I loved this issue. This is a very fine minus at $10.
Don't you find it ironic that there's an actual series called Last Ronin where it's Michelangelo?
Hey, I don't need to hear about your spoons and knives, okay? I don't want to hear about your version of irony. No, yeah, of course, I know.
No, I'm just like, that's cool because it's like somebody actually took that idea and made it like a serious story, basically.
Well, right, it was the same person who drew that issue.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Easton and Laird.
It was all the time. Like,
Yeah,
that's what
it's the original guys.
the covers for Last Ronin were kind of like the Last Ronin book
Yeah, and in fact, if anything else, Eastman and Laird's entire career is based on Frank Miller. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was just a parody of Frank Miller's Daredevil, which was one of the most popular books at the time that they created, which is why in Frank Miller's Daredevil, you had the hand. In the Turtles, you had the foot.
My series will have the pelvis.
Yeah. Well, also, when you're reading Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when you see a young boy prevent an old blind man from being hit by a truck, and he gets hit by this jar of ooze, and then that jar of ooze rolls into a sewer and gives power to a bunch of turtles, that young boy was a young Matt Murdock.
Really? Or is the old man an old man Matt?
Oh, and also Splinter is based off of Stick. Matt Murdock's. Well, that's different.
No, Splinter was abusive. Was it? Oh, yeah. I think Splinter was.
I guess I grew up on the soft.
Oh, wait. Time out. We have hot takes coming here. Who here feels we've given Splinter too much of a pass over the past few decades?
Too much of a pass, yeah.
Do we feel Splinter might be in... Well, all I got to say is I think Leonardo and Raphael do show signs of abuse.
Yeah.
I think Michelangelo, Donatello,
Raphael's a little bit of a jerk. Like, I feel like there's
he passes the abuse.
There's a lot of
No,
lot going on.
I
That
think
family is a lot.
Jason might be onto something.
What happened?
All right, chat, have
He
at
seems
it.
like a nice guy outside, what you hear about, but in the sewer,
Okay.
maybe something to.
All right.
Jason, you should start a
Right.
podcast and call it Beyond the Shell.
All right.
I'm just explaining to it.
Next up, we have the second. Well, would this be considered the third volume of Moon Knight? Because you did have the Fist of Khonshu, but that was only like 6 issues.
No, I'd say that.
That was more like a mini series. It doesn't matter. Mark Spector Moon Knight came out in the late 80s, 1989. This is the very first issue.
It's freaking Moon Knight, man.
Yeah, it's Moon Knight. This is a very fine copy at $14.
It's probably gonna sound stupid, but was there ever a Sun Knight character?
Actually, yes.
New Mutants 100, the first cameo appearance of X-Force. Very fine plus, $20.
Raw was a character. So, yes.
Captain America, number 359. Now, this is in better condition than the copies we had a couple weeks ago. Part of the Great Bloodstone Hunt, which was sort of Captain America meets Indiana Jones. This issue is a very fine plus of $10 and is also considered the first cameo appearance of Crossbones. And then we get to Captain America 360, the first appearance of Crossbones. This is a very fine copy at $20.
What was the superpower?
Being an ass.
Yeah,
Invincible Iron Man 125, the first cover appearance of James Rhodes, and the fourth appearance of Scott Lang as Ant-Man. Not that that really matters. But more importantly, part 3 of the infamous Demon in a Bottle storyline. This is a mid-grade copy at $15, and just in case certain people care, it is a newsstand edition.
Stop telling people these things.
Moon Knight, what was it?
Yes, Moon Knight number 1. There you go. All right. So that was Invincible Iron Man 125, part 3 of the Demon in the Bottle storyline. First cover of James Rhodes. Fourth appearance of Scott Lang as Ant-Man. Once you get to like third, fourth appearances, why even say it?
Yeah.
But it's a mid-grade copy at $15. Again, part of the most famous Iron Man story of all time. All right, and now we get to one of the better 1990s Marvel storylines, and one that was the inspiration for a multi-billion-dollar IP. I am obviously talking about Jim Starlin and George Perez / Ron Lim's Infinity Gauntlet storyline. 125 Iron Man?
Yeah.
All right, right there. You go. All right, Infinity Gauntlet. We do have the complete set, and they're gorgeous. They're all high grade.
Really like this story too.
Infinity Gauntlet's awesome.
Like, I read
And
it
again,
as
issue
a
number
kid.
4. It's one of the best single issues I've ever read in
It
my
was
life.
funny because I read it as a kid. Like I had the first one. I traded because it's like the first book I ever bought myself.
we have
Right.
the whole thing.
And
Yeah,
it
we have the
was-
whole set.
How many?
It's going to get expensive as the whole set. Just let's talk about it before anyone thinks about it.
I like it.
No, it's brilliant. I mean, I bought Infinity Gauntlet number 1. It's the only comic I walked out of the store, sat on the curb, and immediately read it because I could not wait for it.
That was my first thing where it's like Thanos loving death. I'm like, this is great.
Well, because all
this is such a great
because it was such a great build up with Jim Starlin and Silver Surfer. That Thanos quest 2-part mini was brilliant.
I came into it with this.
Right, yeah.
So it's like weird, like, oh, I gotta find out more about that.
Yeah, a lot of people missed out on the Thanos quest at one point in the 90s. It was like $100 book. Like, it was hard to get your hands
I
on.
got Thanos quest now. I'm like, this is actually really,
No, it's
really
great,
good.
right? No, it's so
Really
good. Yeah. All right, so you don't need me to tell you too much about this storyline. It's Infinity Gauntlet. So I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna burn through this pretty quickly so we can move on to some other books, because as our mission statement says, we sell comics. We don't just allow Brendon to talk about whatever the hell he wants for as long as he wants.
Although, I mean,
All right.
do it while selling.
So first up is the biggie, issue number 1. This is a beautiful high-grade copy at $40.
Oh my god.
And then, so issue 2 through 6, all high-grade, all $15. But let me show you each of the covers, and then we
Oh,
will
you got the shirt back there.
move
You
on.
bought the shirt?
Yeah, fuck shit. Yeah, no. All right, issue number 2. Like I said, they're all high grade, $15. George Perez was still drawing in this issue, and then this is the issue where you begin the shift from George Perez to Ron Lim. I don't recall. Maybe deadlines were getting on top of him. I'm not exactly positive why he left the book at the time. But Infinity Gauntlet number 3, probably one of my favorite single issues of comics ever, where Thanos fights all of the heroes and kills them all. But it has anybody who never fully understood why, as a kid and a teenager, I thought Captain America was the coolest dude ever, when everyone was like, the Boy Scout, the jingoistic, rah-rah America. I'm like, read issue number 4, where Captain America, as he looks at all of his friends and co-patriots who are much more powerful than him, are lying dead at his feet. And he walks up to a god, Thanos, and he says, as long as one man stands, you haven't won shit. And it is awesome. Now, he immediately gets killed like a moment later, but still, it's, trust me, the people who wrote the Captain America trilogy for the movies and everything he did in the Avengers stuff, that moment they built towards. Let us never forget Endgame, where Captain America stood with Mjolnir when it all looked lost, and he made his little line, and then the classic that gives me chills to this day, on your left, and the rest was history.
What if he had no depth perception, though?
Issue number 5. This is a fun one, too, where Thanos fights all the gods. That was another great, fun issue. And issue number 6, where it all comes to a crashing ending, as we find out that Thanos, like most human beings, has a real inferiority complex and feels he doesn't deserve anything good in his life. We are all our own worst enemies.
Look at, he wanted this to appease death. He wanted to appease one thing.
And he couldn't
I
get
just
it.
love how
I
death
need
is this
love.
actual embodiment that exists.
Yeah, she's pretty hot when she's not a skeleton.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
even when she's a skeleton.
What got
like, the
all
cover where she's a skeleton, she's still pretty hot. She's got.
Oh, Jason, you trying to tell us something about your search history?
A little bit.
beautiful series. Just beautiful. It's all
But it's
great series.
it's
Great
good.
series.
Tell you what it
All right. Here's a couple. For anyone who's still hoping the Superior Iron Man, played by Tom Cruise, is going to show up in the MCU, don't worry. We still have Superior Iron Man number 1. This is a 1 in 15 variant.
Why do people get hyped for that?
I don't know. Well, because back in the late 90s, Tom Cruise was rumored to want to play Tony Stark. And some people just can't let it go.
He wouldn't, because he's Scientologist, and that's not what Marvel's bad. I hope.
And he's not tall enough.
He wears the suit.
So first appearance is Superior Iron Man, where Tony was a villain. high grade, $20.
And he runs
Is this
really,
the series
he
where
runs really
he
funny.
gives
Yeah.
Daredevil back his sight or something? I heard something about
No,
that. Or is that like
that's
the one where he becomes a god or something?
yeah, that's something else. I'm not too sure. Okay, for anyone who wasn't paying attention, a couple weeks ago we had some copies of 8 Billion Genies #1 on here for $15. For anyone who bought them, you made a great choice because now the book's going for $30. But it's okay. We have a copy here for $25. So here you go, high grade copy of 8 Billion Genies #1, high grade, $25.
I can't find any others.
And the series that Charles Soule and Ryan Brown did prior to 8 Billion Genies is this bad boy right here, Curse Words. Now, this is a high-grade second print. Now, the second print had a lower print run, obviously, than the first print. And it's a series that, people are sniffing around and all that kind of stuff. So even the second print has gone up in value a little bit. It's about like a $15 book. But our high grade copy of the second print of Curse Words #1 is $10. There we go. All right, so let's just move a couple things around because now it's time to do some Spawn. What?
Oh,
I know. I know everyone just can't wait.
And the 90s are killing me.
There's a lot of 90s.
Hey, Todd,
All right.
you here? Todd's in the chat.
Nice, yeah. All right. First, we're going to get to Spawn adjacent books. So back in the day, a bunch of artists who could barely make a deadline promised that if you mutilated your books that you waited months and months and months to come out, and you cut out a big coupon the size of like 3/4 of a page, you can mail them away for Image Zero, a book that took 15 years to maybe come out. Well, don't worry, because we have a copy of it. Image Zero, high grade, $5. The book that 13-year-old Brendon thankfully did not destroy his books and wait for, because adult Brendon, when he finally got it, would have kicked it out of his window.
I was going to say, you ruined what books?
Spawn #4, Youngblood #2, First Appearance of Prophet. What were the others? Oh my God! Was Shadowhawk #1 one of them?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Savage Dragon #1 or 2 or 3 of the miniseries was one. There were a few, but it was all the top 7 guys. So no one would have ruined their Maxes or their Pits.
I love Max, too.
Dude, I love Max. Max is the greatest book that the early Image gave us. It's the only book that holds up.
Wizard,
Yeah, the Presents. I still got it.
is it purple?
Yeah. It's like purple foil. Yeah, like the writing. I'm pretty sure it's purple. I'll show it to you later. All right.
Claim it.
All right. Next up is the first issue of Angela #1, written by Neil Gaiman and illustrated by Greg Capullo. It doesn't happen in issue 1, but for anyone who never read the Angela miniseries, Angela and Spawn definitely bone. Does anyone else remember that? The end of issue #2?
The only
They're in hell,
I remember is
and they sleep with each other. Like, they flat out have sex. It's wild. But anyway, Angela #1, high grade, $7.
My only exposure to Spawn is like a really bad movie that I saw when I was
Okay.
Oh, that's a great movie. Stop it.
No,
John was
no.
Stop.
You stop it. Great movie. Oh my God. This is from the guy, I haven't seen Prey yet, and yet I didn't like Prey, but Spawn is the greatest movie ever.
Spawn. Oh, let's talk about Michael J. White. Wait, stop. You have Michael J. White. You have John Leguizamo playing John Leguizamo. Like, he's just it's a fun, stupid 90s movie that should have been made in the period it was made in.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't like it, right? No, wait, stop.
All right. How about everybody stop and let's sell comics? All right. So Todd McFarlane was putting out a toy line in the 90s, and a couple of those toy lines had a comic book that would come in. What are we looking for?
Thank you, Matthew.
Well, okay. Real quick. The sex does not happen in the first issue. So just
I didn't buy the sex.
okay. All right. It happens at the end of issue #2, and then it's confirmed what happened in the beginning of issue number 3. 14-year-old Brendon was really confused, and I was like, wait, what? And the best part of how you know what's happening is Angela and Spawn are stuck in hell, and they're getting attacked by everybody, and there's like this moment of reprieve, and they're kind of like cold, and so they start a fire, and they're sitting down next to each other, and then suddenly there's like these panels where Angela's sort of like braid thing, whatever that stuff that hangs from her, and Spawn's chains, they start to kind of get closer. And then Angela and Spawn are like, man, I'm cold. Oh, why don't you get a little bit closer? And then they start to like the chains and the braids start to like wrap together.
We're freaking hell, you getting cold? What is wrong with you, lady? Get away from me.
Actually, in the biblical sense, hell is said to be cold.
Yes, we know that. Yes. That is the great theory. All right, but anyway, so in the original toy line of Todd McFarlane's toys, some of them came with comic books promoting the character. And one of the very first toys that got a comic book was Medieval Spawn. And this is that book, number 1, high grade, $3.
So as a kid, I was trying to buy the first Spawn, and I bought one of those books. It's Spawn 1. I was like, it's Spawn 1, but it's what's the robot? Overwatch?
Psychor?
No, it wasn't Psychor.
Overkill?
Overkill. It was Overkill. I was like, this is Spawn 1. It's Overkill.
Matthew says Prey sucks.
Okay, all right. Hey, no, that's fine. That's fine. You know, again, like a lot of people had a lot of good things to say about it, but now we are starting to get the backlash. I think expectations have been raised a little bit too high, and people are starting to
just like
reject it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure we are going to really disagree with one another.
I know. You know what I was gonna say? You don't like it? I hated it.
Okay.
But
all right. I don't know what that says about you and I and our friendship, but it says something.
We Ebony and Ivory, opposites attract.
There you go. I'm not Michael Jackson. You are. All right, I'm Paul McCartney. Okay. In this metaphor, I'm definitely Sir Paul.
Who am I?
Oh, you're Ringo.
Just sit back there and stop talking.
It's okay. You'll outlive us all.
That's true. That's true.
Next up, we have Spawn Batman, Frank Miller, Todd McFarlane. This is the high grade copy, $25.
Oh, you have posted too.
Yeah, we do. Okay, now these are all graded by the GOAT, the greatest of all time himself, the OG, Fat Jacks himself, Mike. And so he did not write the grades, okay? So, but he is amazing at grading and pricing. So when you hear the prices, assume you know what the grade is, okay? So here we go. Batman Spawn, the other DC's version of this crossover by Doug Munch, Chuck Dixon, and Alan Grant, Klaus Janson. This is where they tie in Spawn's history to the Roanoke mystery. $8.
Roanoke, New Jersey.
Roanoke, the missing colony. I'm done with you. I can't.
There was a moment. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I mean, like, the others were like, who's Kirby? And who's like, oh, like, okay. But I don't know what that says about what I think of you.
What's the next break?
All right. All right. Now we are in the actual Spawn issues themselves. So let's burn through it, and we'll talk about the prices. So we have a Spawn number 1, $40. And then we have 2 copies of Spawn number 1 at $25. Next up, we have Spawn number 2 at $35. And then we have Spawn number 2 at 2 copies at $30. Spawn number 3, $25. Another copy of Spawn number 3, but this one is $30. And now we have issue number 4 with the coupon still attached. 2 copies, $20 each.
Wow, a lot of people in chat do not believe the Roanoke mystery.
Issue number 5, $20. Issue number 6 in the aforementioned Overkill, looking like he could only have been created in the 90s.
That design is
He doesn't just
$15.
He doesn't just kill. He
He's
overkills.
overkill.
Somebody needs to come in and say, look,
All right, now we grab a few more Spawn books here.
That's a Mortal Kombat name. Overkill.
All right, here we go. Issue number 7. If Spawn needed big guns, don't worry, he's got them. Both copies, $15. Issue number 8. Now this one is a special one. This was written by Alan Moore, and this is where Alan Moore starts to develop what hell is in the Spawn mythos. Also, we get to see the serial killer pedophile ice cream guy get his comeuppance. Issue number 18, $15.
He goes big.
No, he becomes the Spawn. That's like at
Oh,
the very
yeah,
end,
he
he's getting
becomes
tortured
the-
and stuff like that. Then he gets taken over by the Spawn, and that's when we find out the Spawn costume is sentient
Eats him. Yep.
and all that kind of stuff. Okay, now this is a big one. First appearance of Angela, written by Sandman himself, Neil Gaiman, $35. A character who now exists in the Marvel Universe. And then we have issue 10, written by Dave Sim, and a angry screed at the comic industry at the time, specifically Marvel and DC, and how they deal with the creators. This is $15. Issue number 11, written by Frank Miller, where Spawn fights a paramilitary in the alleys of New York. $7. Number 12, where we find out the guy who killed Spawn was Chapel. If you don't know who Chapel is, don't worry. No one else does, because no one read Youngblood. He was a random Rob Liefeld character. And of course, the one black dude in Youngblood ends up being the dude who kills everybody.
I mean, Spawn.
Who becomes the villain.
Alice Spawn Black.
Well, yeah, because they were best friends. They were military guys together. And his best friend kills him.
It's black and black, so it's fine.
Dude, I didn't want to make that joke. Because if I have to hear one more right-wing pundit use that term
That's all right.
to explain away systemic racism in our law enforcement and society,
black people killing the black people.
well, no, but
At least what they did in Minnesota.
that's the propaganda.
That's the black and black.
That's how certain, let's say, demographic or certain people like to say that there's no problem, nothing to see here, because it's not systemic racism.
You know, funnily enough, Rick and Morty did a really good episode.
Yeah, they actually did.
Yeah.
We have 2 copies here. One is for 8, the other is for 6. Issue number 13, $8. Issue number 14, the Return of the Violator, $8. The first appearance of Medieval Spawn, issue number 15, $8. Oh, and then issue number 19. Okay, so you're going to say, Brendon, what happened to issue number 16, 17, 18? And you're also going to say, what happened to the second copy of 19? And then you're going to say, what happened to issue 20? And then I'm going to tell you, when I destroyed my Spawn collection back in the day, I forgot that Grant Morrison, my favorite comic writer, wrote 5 issues of Spawn and made so much money from writing 5 issues of Spawn that allowed him to go to Kathmandu and have a spiritual, psychological, psychedelic experience on such a level that we got Invisibles.
Kathmandu in New Jersey?
Huh? Kathmandu?
Kathmandu.
Yeah, Kathmandu, New Jersey. Man,
That's how it's phrased?
time.
Spawn 19 has been playing.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, so issue number 19, $8. All right, there you go. All right, next up, we're going to keep going. We got a lot of Spawns here. Issue number 21. Yeah. By the way, also, those Grant Morrison issues, Greg Capullo drew them. And that was Greg Capullo's introduction to Spawn and Tom McFarland, who would later tap him to become probably the most prolific Spawn artist, maybe? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Issue number 21, $10.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I loved Capullo's Spawn. I actually preferred it over McFarland.
Oh, yeah.
Issue 22, $8. Issue number 23, $8.
Is his name like the Spawn of Satan, basically?
Issue 24, $8. And then came, okay, I appreciate what they were going for. I don't think it really worked. But there was this period where 1 month, the original 7 image artists, Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, Mark Silvestri, Jim Lee, Eric Larson, Jim Valentino, and Will Portacio. They each drew an issue of one of their other peers' books. Okay, so this is where we get Spawn number 25, written. I think it's still written by Tom McFarlane, but it's illustrated by Mark Silvestri. $8. Issue 26 in the beginning of Greg Capullo's amazing Spawn run. Spider-Man, it's not that big of a reach. Issue number 26, $8. Issue number 27, $8. Issue number 28, $8. Issue 29,
45 has been claimed.
$8. All right, 25. There you go. All right. Oh, issue number 30, where Todd McFarlane decides to tackle the Antebellum South and a little term. And if you don't know what this is, look it up. You need to get more educated on American history. A little term called strange fruit. Issue number 30, $8. Issue number 31, first appearance of the Redeemer, the Anti-Spawn.
26 to 29.
$8. Oh, 26 through 29. Good pickup by whoever.
That is.
No, you don't have to tell me. It's just. But thank you. Whoever it is, it's not a dismissal. It's just we don't need to make everyone's business. You buy what you buy because you love it. Spawn 32, $8. And Spawn 33, the second return of the Violator, issue number 8. Aaron, yes. My song suggestion is Lords of the Underground, Chief Rocka.
I've learned to type it on Spotify now, so I have to spell it.
Okay, Lords of the Underground, Chief Rocka. Spawn number 34, $8. Spawn number 35, $8. Spawn number 36.
Is there a number 20?
$8. Is there a number 20?
Yeah.
There is not.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Nope.
He was asking.
Yeah, sorry. Issue number 37, first appearance of the Freak, $8. Issue number 38, first appearance of Cygor, $8. Issue number 39, Spawn's Christmas issue, $8.
Oh, I know who's going to buy that.
And now we get to.
Okay,
so now we're at a point where Todd McFarlane wanted Spawn to come out twice a month. And the only way to do that without killing Greg Capullo was to bring on a second artist to do every other issue. And that's where we get this period of Spawn where one issue is Greg Capullo, the next issue is Tony Daniel, and so forth and so forth and so forth. All right. Issue number 40, the first Tony Daniel one, $8. Issue number 41. Back to Capullo, $8. Issue number 42, back to Tony Daniel. You kind of picking up the pattern here? Yeah, $8. Issue number 43, $8. Issue 44, $8. Issue 45, $8. Issue 46, $8. Issue 47, $8. All right, we're almost done with the response. All right. Okay.
Got a break in like 7 minutes.
About 7 minutes. I think I can get through all the spawns before we're done. Issue number 48, $8. 49, $8. Milestone issue, and Tom McFarlane draws Spawn again. Issue number 50, $9. Issue number 51, $8. 52 with a guest appearance of Savage Dragon. $8.
Do they still have the clock going down?
I think that stops with like issue like 100 or so.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was a neat concept, but come on.
Concept, but what are we doing?
Yeah, where are you going with that? All right, 53, $8. We don't have 54 for whatever reason. 55, $8. No 56. 57, $8. 58, $8. 59, a young toddler with heavy chains wrapped around her neck. Okay, Todd. $8. Issue number 60, $8. Issue 61, $10. And issue number 63, $8. And that, as they say,
Is that?
those
She
are
wrote.
all of our spawns.
I don't know who she is.
So with that said, do you want to go for a break right now? And I will pause for 5 seconds, and if we don't cut away, I will continue.
Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
There's a super new way to support your friends over at The Experience. Head over to YouTube and send us a super chat, a super sticker, or a super thanks. We'll be super grateful for your support. And then keep an eye out as we launch membership services over on YouTube. It'll be a great way to get first look access at new content and shows before anybody else. Keep your eyes peeled and make sure you're following us on YouTube.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? So we're back. So let's sell some comics. Now, again, I have a pile here in my hand, except for these 4, which will come last.
We sell comics, trademark.
That is very true. We sell comics. So all of these that I have here in my hand were graded and priced by Mike. So I don't have the grade. So again, the price will indicate its grade. So if you want to look it up or what have you, feel free. But again, there's nobody I trust more than Mike when it comes to grading and pricing. So take that for what it is. All right, so let's look at what we have here. So first up, we have the Batman Adventures #1, $10. This is the series that 11 issues after this one would give us Harley Quinn.
A quintessential part of the Batman.
You got it. Superman #75, unopened, the death of, all that kind of stuff, $30. Spirits of Vengeance, part of the Midnight Sun storyline. Bagged, still got its poster, all that kind of stuff, $8.
Is this what the movie was based on?
Sort of, not really. Venom Lethal Protector, a book that just keeps going up in value, $50.
That's the Philly one, right?
What's that? No. The Philly one was like 20 years later.
Yeah.
No, this is
that's
the very
original.
first solo Venom comic of all time.
90s freaking foil.
Lethal Protector #2, $18.
Love that cover.
#3, $3. Yeah, it's Mark Bagley.
Oh, man down.
What happened?
Well, I dropped books, but thankfully they fell flat.
How do they just fall straight up?
I'm really happy they fell flat because that wasn't going to go over well.
Hey, man, at least they're not falling as flat as my
Oh, God, my legs are killing me.
Here, you want the stool?
No, Lethal Protector #3, $8. And then we get into some.
24% more discount.
Yeah. Okay, so X-Men #1, $12. That's the A cover.
There's a period of time you guys used to have that.
X-Men #1, $24. X-Men #3, $6.50. Now this one is a key that people are still looking for. Oh wait, no, before I do that, X-Men #2, $8. I got them out of order because I dropped them. But yeah, this is a key that people are still looking for. The series based off of the X-Men 90s cartoon, X-Men Adventures #1, $15. Yeah. You got it. What happened to those?
You think that reboot's gonna be good?
Let's not worry about it. All right. Next up, I have in my hand 4 Marvel Milestone reprints, and they reprint some pretty hefty books. So let's get into it. These are all high grade. The first 2 I'm going to show here are $8. So first up is Marvel Milestones. Now this reprints. Let me just make sure I got it. Marvel Premiere #3. That's the classic Doctor Strange story, While the World Spins Mad. That's written by Stan Lee and illustrated by Barry Windsor Smith. You'll also get Fantastic Four Annual #5, which is the first appearance of Psycho Man and the first solo Silver Surfer story. You get Hulk #3, third appearance of the Hulk and the second appearance of the Circus of Crime. But then you get Marvel Comics #1. Now, when I was looking this up, I learned something that I never knew. All right, so Marvel Comics #1 is a pretty hefty book. This issue does not reprint the entire Marvel Comics #1. What it does reprint is it reprints the Submariner story by Bill Everett from, what are we looking for? Oh, X-Men #3? Yeah, there you go. There you go. The last Claremont until he came back, and I wish he didn't. So Marvel Comics #1, it reprints the Submariner story by Bill Everett. Now, I was always under the impression that Marvel Comics #1 not only was the first appearance of the Human Torch, the android one, the first appearance of Angel, not the mutant, and the first appearance of a couple other characters. I also erroneously believed that Marvel Comics #1 was the first appearance of the Submariner. It's not. It's the second appearance of the Submariner. And so I went, what? When the hell did he appear before that?
Did I get Spawn 57 and 59?
They're right here.
Oh, yeah, my fault.
Yeah. So it's 57,
Doctor
59.
Strange is claimed as well.
59.
Yeah.
Oh, the Marvel Milestone. Here's 7. There you go. Okay. And the Doctor Strange. Where did I just put it? Oh, it's right here. There you go. Okay. So the actual first appearance of Neymar the Submariner occurs in a book called Motion Picture Funnies #1. There are only 9 copies known to exist. It was intended as a giveaway at movie theaters, but it never amounted to anything, and they pulled the plug on the project, and that's why most of Motion Picture Funnies #1 never saw the light of day, and Bill Everett, who introduced this character in there, went, screw that, I'm going over to Marvel or whatever, and here's this character I already created, I already drew 12 pages of. Oh, you're going to give me 8 pages? Well, don't worry, I'll cut out 4 pages, and boom. You get an 8-page Namor story at Marvel Comics #1, but it is technically not his first appearance. And you can argue, out of all of the famous Marvel characters, especially ones that appear in movies, so you know how people get crazy looking for first appearances of Marvel movie characters. Well, for all of you looking for the first appearance of Namor, good luck. All right, next up, Marvel Milestones featuring Blade, Man-Thing, and Satana. High grade, $8. This reprints Tomb of Dracula #10, the first appearance of Blade, Vampire Tales #2, the first appearance of Satana, and for whatever reason, they reprint Adventure into Fear #16, which is just a random Man-Thing issue. I mean, you could have reprinted the first appearance of Howard the Duck. You could have reprinted Savage Tales #1, the first appearance of Man-Thing.
I mean,
Yeah, but for whatever reason, well, no, that's Werewolf by Night. That's not Adventures in Fear, because they're going like for the horror thing and everything. But anyway, they reprinted a random issue with Man-Thing fights a bunch of Southern dudes who are really mean.
and his arch nemesis, Sandman.
You got it. All right. No, these are actually really good. These Marvel Milestones have been going up in value a lot lately. So next up, now these two are biggies. So both of these are high grade, each at $10. Okay. So first up, we have Marvel Milestones featuring Venom and Hercules. Sort of Venom. You'll get the point when you see the cover. Boom. All right, so this reprint, Secret Wars #8, first appearance of the Venom symbiote, second appearance of Spider-Woman / Julia Carpenter. Also reprints a very hot, sought-after book lately, Journey into Mystery, Annual #1, the first appearance of Hercules, the first appearance of Zeus, and the first battle between Thor and Hercules. There you go. 2 biggies.
Clean.
All right. And then next up, now this one's fun. Okay, so this one reprints 4 issues. 3 of them are first appearances of characters. One of them is a reintroduction of a character into Marvel continuity. Now, does anyone remember one of the funnier series by Warren Ellis and Stuart Immonen called Next Wave: Agents of Hate? It was just such a fun series, very funny, mocking and lampooning and parodying all of these comics and stuff like that. It starred Machine Man, Monica Rambeau, Elsa Bloodstone. Who else did it have in it? Boom Boom. I think it was a character. I'm completely
Scraping the bottom of the barrel of names.
Well, if you've never read it, Next Wave, again, that is a series that should be in print. It isn't, for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe Elvis's name for a little bit was a little problematic or something.
A little bit of an issue.
Well, right before, so a lot of times these Marvel Milestones, when they would release them, they would release them because they wanted to sort of prelude another book coming out that maybe has some characters in it that most people aren't familiar with. So these were really good ways of reintroducing certain characters. So people would then go out and buy the new book that they're all appearing in. But just by just a bunch of weird circumstances, a couple of the issues in this book are super, super valuable. Not this book themselves. I mean, I'm talking about the books that they're reprinting. Because some of these characters have gotten big and they're going to play big roles in the MCU coming forward. So first, let me point it out. Here we have Marvel Milestones featuring Bloodstone, Machine Man, and the second Captain Marvel. Okay, high grade, $10. And it reprints in full. Marvel presents #1 from 1975, the first appearance and origin of Ulysses Bloodstone. Machine Man #1, 1978 by Jack Kirby, reintroduces Machine Man into Marvel continuity after he was introduced in Jack Kirby's 2001 A Space Odyssey series. And then we have a book that we had on earlier that we were lucky enough to sell, Amazing Spider-Man Annual #16 from 1982, the first appearance of Monica Rambeau as the second Captain Marvel. And then the book that came out in 2001 that I bet you could have a few years ago gotten in quarter books and $1 book, but is now worth $100 to $150, and that is Bloodstone #1 from 2001, the first appearance of Elsa Bloodstone, the daughter of Ulysses Bloodstone, who will play a major role in the upcoming Disney Plus Halloween holiday special, Werewolf by Night. Also, first appearance of Nosferatu in Marvel continuity.
They gotta have like some kind of Moon Knight reference in there. Now that he like exists.
So that's
Maybe.
a weird thing. It's a bit.
It's not Werewolf by Night.
It hasn't been in development hell, but it's been backed up because of New Mutants. So it's a
Oh.
weird spot that show and thing are in.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. All right, real quick, even though here our trademark is we sell comics, well, every now and again we sell comic-related stuff. And we were lucky enough to find a Batman button collection from 1989. So these buttons were released in the spring of 1989 to kind of promote the upcoming Tim Burton Batman movie.
Who the hell's that?
I know, right? So these buttons sort of take place in different eras of Batman mythos. So you got some Neil Adams, you got some Marshall Rogers, you got some Jim Aparo, you got some Brian Bolland, Frank Miller, Kelly Jones, Dave Mazzucchelli. All right, so there were 3 sets. We don't have set 1. We have 3 of set 2, and we only have 1 of set 3. They retail originally for $8, and we are going to sell them for $8. So if anyone wants some Batman pins,
Early, late 80s.
so here are three copies of Volume 2. So you get some Neil Adams, you get some Marshall Rogers, some Dick Sprang, some Jim Aparo. So there we go. Buttons. And then this was the set that I had as a kid, the 3rd set. Dave Mazzucchelli from Batman Year 1, Brian Bolland from Batman Killing Joke, Frank Miller from Dark Knight Returns, and some Kelly Jones, a great horror artist who drew a lot of Batman in the late 80s and 90s.
What's on the back of? Like it breaks in the.
Oh, wait, real quick. I was wrong. That's not Kelly Jones. It's even better. It's Bernie Wrightson. And in fact, let me make sure I got these names right. Neil Adams, Jim Aparo, Dick Giordano. Oh, no, I was wrong. Marshall Rogers, Neil Adams, they're all right. Jim Aparo was right. We also have Carmen Infantino, Dick Giordano, and Murphy Anderson.
Oh, Mark Heron wants to know if we've been Comic-Con San Diego.
No, never. No, sorry. We're not that cool.
I'm going next year for my birthday.
And then here you got Brian Bolland. I was right. David Mazzucchelli, Frank Miller, and Klaus Janson, and Bernie Wrightson. That's those 4 pins. Yeah. So they're cool pins. They're fun. All right. There we go. All right. So we got some time left. Now, my friend, the infamous Mr. Oz, he has guilted me into going to the, I don't know if it's the Chinese or the Japanese Lantern Festival. It's the last one tonight. It's the Chinese Lantern Festival. All right, whatever. Asian Celebration Lantern Festivals. Okay, so tonight's the last night. So And sorry to spring this on you, Experience. We're going to have to wrap up 5 minutes early.
It's like break time.
And it's break time anyway? All right, so let's take a break. And then when we come back, I will try to sell some stuff, and then we'll wrap it up. So, break time.
Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner.
Comic Collectibles is here for you every Wednesday with AR Comics for two very important reasons. To sell you rare, one-of-a-kind comics that you'll love, and to confuse AR with old man talk. You see, Rex and John are, how should I put this, ancient as the roots of the mountains. So every week, Rex and John fill in AR in yet another area of pop culture that he missed because he's too young, just didn't have the time, or just really doesn't care about. It's a real public service they provide. Come buy some super rare and unique comics, while old men explain long-dead sci-fi shows to a younger man making that confused puppy face. Every Wednesday from 6 to 8 Eastern with Rex, John, and AR Comics. Comic Collectibles on The Experience. Comic culture and sales.
Just so we're clear, was that last llama thing, was that a shot at me?
Kyle.
He's not even here right now. He's
Yeah.
he didn't ran away.
I
He
feel like
walked.
that was a shot at me.
Maybe.
I think they're really not understanding.
It's a metaphor.
I don't know.
I don't know how to continue.
Honestly, I don't know why.
First of all,
This thing's to the ground now.
First of all, alpacas are so much cooler than llamas.
Because there is a difference.
And second of all, I'm pretty sure nobody connected to anything here actually knows that llama. But like the footage that was filmed of the llama commercial that never saw the light of day, that was actually my girlfriend's llamas.
No, Kyle, you can't put that in the chat. You gotta say it out loud.
Llamas. Oh,
Just say what was said in the chat.
Llamas are a funny animal. I just grabbed it randomly.
likely still.
Okay. All right.
Nah,
Okay.
We're just,
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. All right. Sure.
We'll see how the experience goes.
All right.
It's not Kyle. Kyle's sleeping.
Okay.
Oh, it's JD?
It's JD.
Oh,
All right.
all right.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
All right. Maybe I'm being a little selfish here, thinking that was a jab at me. You know.
I guess they're just breaking balls.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, you get it
as,
as original
as,
ad.
as Brendan's pitch goes up, the madder he is.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that everything's cool, and that was a what is it? Some books. I think we're all on the same page here.
Disney
I'm
is
surrounded
suing
by
you right now.
All right, so we got like 10 minutes. Oh, less than that. Did the phone actually ring?
Yeah.
It did?
Mike says the show is great, but it needs more cowbell.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, real quick, because I was shocked last week when Jason was confused at what an ash can was.
No, I wasn't confused. I just never had one. I've never seen
All right.
it in like.
And then Duke, who came in, he had won the other ash can. He went, I've never seen an ash can before. I went, what the hell?
Ash cans are like, that's one of those weird things that.
It's a weird thing. All right, so real quick, I have in my hand a little pile here. All right? There's a pile back there that we're not going to get to. That pile is $1. This pile is all 50 cents. So let's have some fun real quick. So first up, a local artist. Well, he's local in the sense that he's been living in Philly pretty much the entire time I've lived in Philly. And he's a customer of the shop. We don't see him as often as we used to, but, he came in. But he is one of the greatest underground alternative artists that America has ever produced. And, hey, there's a Simpsons character that is slightly based off of him. And I'm talking about Black Hole's artist, the just incomparable Charles Burns. Just one of just the best underground alternative artists of all time. Love that guy. Love his work. And he's done a lot of really interesting work and series and stuff of that nature. Well, back in 1999, here in Philadelphia, the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts, they had this Morris Gallery exhibition, the Academy's program dedicated to contemporary regional talent, represents a mini retrospective of the work of Charles Burns, the internationally known Philadelphia-based graphic artist, featuring over 50 drawings, prints, posters, books, and objects. It marks Burns' first regional showing in 5 years and his first ever museum exhibition. So that is this right here. That is an image of his series Big Baby. This is 23 years old, so I can't believe that this is actually in good condition. I found it in a box in the Greg Hole. And if you know anything about the Greg Hole, if anything comes out even remotely in good condition, that's a win.
That's only 10 years older than me. It's better condition than ever.
I know. Now, again, everything that I'm showing right now is 50 cents, okay?
Wait, is 50 cents on that piece of art?
Yeah. Well, it's a print. It's not an original piece of art, obviously. Okay. But no, these are just like things, they're novelties, okay? 50 cents, all right? Okay. And so, hey, sent out at the same time with this, they gave removable tattoos. So that's a really nice that from Black Hole. That is a Charles Burns drawing. And don't worry if you don't know how to apply a temporary tattoo. The instructions are on the back.
I know how to get a temporary tattoo permanent.
Yeah. And now, okay, so there was a period where Marvel was giving away back in 1988 these little like mini comics that would later be referred to as ash cans. This one is a reprint of X-Men number 50. It's the issue where Roy Thomas wrote it. Arnold Drake drew it. No. Arnold Drake wrote it. Barry Smith, that's right. So this is where the X-Men fight Blastar. So you get a full comic reprint in this little ash can sized 50 cents. It's because they like fit in ash cans, or there's a reason. If Zane's still out there, he'll tell us.
X-Men
53. Thank you. And now we get a bunch of weird ash cans. The 90s loved their ash cans. So first up, we have the Malibu Ashcan.
Zane wants the X-Men ash can.
He does. All right, he gets one of them. Cool, man. All right. I don't know how to mark it, but they're 50 cents.
50 cents. 50 cents.
We got to somehow make sure that everyone knows that they're only 50 cents.
I can just put them in a little like
a little bag.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine.
I mean, it's smaller than everything else.
Yeah. This is the Ultra First ash can with George Perez art, limited edition, 25,000 copies, which is kind of a lot.
They also don't have any ads to it.
No, they're pure. Here is the Bart Sears Brute and Babe Infinity ash can. Oh, we don't need me to tell you much about this artist. Just look him up on YouTube. If you agree with him, I don't know what to tell you. But here is Cyberfrog, number 0. The preview Ashcan. And then we have the Foot Soldiers.
Oh.
With a really nice
with the history.
Mike Mignola cover back there.
Back in the old days, companies would print comics that were never meant for release. They were just to lock down the rights to the intellectual properties. And they'd go straight to the Ashcan.
Trash can. Okay, thank you. Who gave us that information?
JD.
Oh, JD. Thank you, JD. Rafferty, the Malibu Ashcan, Howard Chaykin art. One day I'm going to do an entire show. It's just Ultraverse.
I was going to say, just do an entire show of Ashcans.
Ultraverse, well, before Mike showed up with the collection, it was going to be Ashcans and variants. That was the entire show.
Foot Soldiers, Ashcan, and Cyberfrog Ashcan.
Okay, all right.
What more can you ask for?
50 cents.
Just sit back down.
No, it's okay. You earned that one. Ultraverse Hostile Takeover. There you go. All right. See.
Oh, I need the Rafferty one.
I give you credit, and then you double down.
You ruined it. You took it away.
All right. And then we get the Wizard Ultraverse Ashcan, the 0A issue, with more George Perez art. Oh, it's another Ultraverse, in case anyone's interested. We got one more. Ultraverse Godwheel. This is right around the time where they were about to start introducing the Marvel characters, because at this point, Marvel bought Ultraverse and Malibu Comics. Pretty much, I think, just for the rights to their digital coloring. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason Marvel bought
Thank
Malibu.
you, Gary. Finally, someone who appreciates my art.
Ah, there you go. Okay, I have no idea. So Len Straczewski and Paul Frick, out of the past and into the suburbs. 5 medieval Chinese warriors escape obliteration at the hands of treacherous villains, casting their immortal spirits into the river of time. They are reincarnated as quintuplet toddlers, only to be followed by their arch enemies and must fight the ultimate battle for good against evil, while the neighborhood hangs in the balance? Terror Tots! With literally super soakers. I wish I made that up. I really wish I made that. No,
I want that one. That sounds awesome.
I read that. Yeah. So Terror Tots.
Super Soaker 25 too.
I know, right? Oh God, they were the best.
And that's when you were like, oh, 50s are better.
Such a good story.
Terror Tots. Yeah.
Imagine being like, well, what's that you got right there? Like,
Ooh, look at this. Not only is this an Ashcan edition, but it's stamped a Philly Ashcan edition, and it's 1,456 out of 5,000. Action Planet Comics.
Action Planet Comics.
I have no idea.
Then what it is about?
I'm stumped.
See, when you said it was cool, I actually believed it.
Yeah, well, at the time, I thought maybe I had something here. Has anyone heard of John Corey?
I don't know.
John Corey.
Released in 1998. So we have John Corey, number 0. Okay, that's interesting. And then we have a Wizard supplement with, this is Stormwatch 23.5, because that's what people want more of. Random issues with a half.
Whoa. It's Image.
Oh, wait,
Right?
Stormwatch 23.5 leads directly into the earth-shattering end of Stormwatch as we know it.
Again, it's Image.
Action Planet Comics, Ashcan.
There you go. So that's our Stormwatch. So actually, if you're a Stormwatch fan and you have a complete collection, this is actually important to the story.
Can I see that?
Sure. We have another copy of Rafferty. We have another copy of Foot Soldiers. And we have an Ashcan preview of the all-new Zen the Intergalactic Ninja. And if this cover doesn't sell you on the book, well, don't worry, because the back cover will confuse you. I don't know. Orbetta is. There's no.
These are great because there's no ads.
Oh, the art. Okay, here it is. The all-new Zen Intergalactic Ninja. The writer is Steve Stern, the guy who created Zen, but it introduces the art of Orbetta, a gentleman who was in the same school as Cher, Madonna, all of the one-named greats that the entertainment industry has given us.
The second Foot Soldiers?
Yes,
accent?
I have another Foot Soldiers. There you go. Good stuff. Okay, and so we're done. I got to get out of here as quick as possible. So thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us and watching us. Before we run off, if anyone hasn't given us a musical selection, a song selection yet, this is your last chance. Please give it now. Wait, what's wrong?
No, we're good.
Zen?
Go.
We'll get to it.
Finish it.
Yeah, here's the Zen. Boom, boom. You know, just wait till we'll deal with it after. Yeah, I know. I just want to make sure because we're ending now. And I just want to see if there's any last-minute song suggestions or anything of that nature. But like I said, yeah, thank you. We will be back next week. We're still doing our normal 4:30 to 5:45-ish on the Facebook page, Fat Jack's Comicrypt Facebook page, and we'll be back in the experience from 6 to 8. After that, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Play by ear.
We're talking about things, but I don't know. After that llama hit,
That hurt. That was a little weird.
yeah, because I really.
Little
Because one of the behind the scenes, like Inside Baseball, I heard how we got to market. And my first reaction was, I don't care, because you obviously don't want my opinion on how we're going to market this show.
I mean,
Because
maybe
I've gotten the impression that my creative ideas are not appreciated, desired, or wanted, which is why we're Fat Jack's Comicrypt and not the Brendon does whatever the hell he wants show. So with that said, we look forward to seeing everyone next week. We'll have Volume 7 of the Latchkey Manifesto mixtape, and we will do what our mission statement is, which is
we'll try to do.
we will sell comics. And with that said, everyone have a wonderful week. Be well. Please spread more love than hate. We get too much of that nowadays. Take care, everyone. Peace.
Bye.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.